121 years ago, the Philippines was under the Spanish rule. This colonial period began when explorer Ferdinand Magellan came to the islands in 1521 and claimed it as a colony for the Spanish Empire. The period lasted until the Philippine Revolution in 1898, and during this 300-year period of the country, the Philippines suffered a lot due to the corruption and exploitation of the people by the Spanish rulers. However, one man had enough and stood up for his people, and he is Jose Rizal. Born in Calamba, Laguna, Jose Rizal inspired and unified the Filipino people by opening their eyes on the real situation of the country. His words awakened new ideas among the Filipinos, and in his book, he criticized the Spanish government and the iniquitous social structure in the Philippines that led to the prohibition of his writing. And this book is called Noli Tangere. Originally published in Spanish in 1887, Noli Tangere or Touch Me Not is the satirical fiction novel written by Filipino author and national hero Jose Rizal. The novel was written during the colonization of the Philippines by Spain and is seen as a public rebuke of the oppressive ruling government and injustices of the Catholic priests. The story begins in the Philippines, where Captain Tiago, a wealthy socialite, throws a dinner party to welcome Juan Crisostomo Ibarra back to the Philippines. Ibarra, a native mestizo, has spent 7 years in Europe. During dinner, Ibarra learns his father, Don Rafael, died recently of unknown causes. Ibarra is berated by Friar Father Damaso for learning abroad what he could have learned from home. Ibarra holds his tongue and leaves the party to visit his fiancée Maria Clara. Maria Clara is Tiago's daughter. While on his way, Ibarra chats with civil guard Senor Guevara, who explains that Don Rafael died in jail after being imprisoned for accidentally killing a tax collector who was abusing a boy in the street. Ibarra travels to his hometown, San Diego, accompanied by Maria Clara. A large All Souls Day festival is held commemorating purgatorial souls, which for Ibarra finds immoral due to profiting on people's pain. Ibarra finds the increased influence of the Catholic Church troubling. Father Salvi is an example of the corruption, using his religious post to find people who don't attend church. Ibarra learns from a schoolmaster that Father Damaso insists on teachers beating children as discipline and bans teaching Spanish in favor of the native Philippine language, Tagalog. As alternative, Ibarra plans to build a secular school like the one Don Rafael always wished for. Ibarra consults with church and government officials, fully intending to ignore their influence once the school is built. Ibarra visits the Catholic cemetery and learns that Father Damaso had Don Rafael's body exhumed, which has since been dumped in a lake. During the fiesta, Ibarra and local officials celebrate the opening of the new school. As Father Damaso blesses the building with a sermon, the mysterious Elias arrives. Ibarra once saved Elias' life during a fishing expedition. Elias informs Ibarra that the others plan to kill him during the school's christening. Ibarra disbelieves, but when a large boulder comes rolling at him as Elias suggested, Elias shoves the man responsible in the way. The man dies, saving Ibarra's life. The festival continues, but Ibarra is now aware of his foes. At the dinner celebration held by Ibarra that night, Father Damaso arrives uninvited and begins insulting the new school, spouting racial insults to Filipinos as Indios and dishonors Don Rafael's death. The remark prompts Ibarra to attack Father Damaso. He raised a knife to him and tells everyone that Father Damaso exhumed Don Rafael's corpse. Ibarra nearly kills Father Damaso, but Maria Clara stops the blade before it stabs him. Afterwards, Ibarra is excommunicated. Captain Tiago cancels the wedding of Ibarra and Maria Clara. A Captain General visits San Diego from Spain and is begged to punish Ibarra. Since the general supports Ibarra's school project, He refuses punishment and leaves the excommunication. Father Salve hires Lucas, brother of the deceased man, who meant to kill Ibarra with the boulder, to frame Ibarra. Father Salve is in love with Maria Clara and orchestrates an attack on the military barracks that he blames on Ibarra. Father Salve intends to take credit for saving the town from the attack he secretly started. Ibarra is arrested as planned. He is jailed and found guilty based on an unclear letter he wrote to Maria Clara. Elias returns and busts Ibarra out of prison and they escape on a boat. Before fleeing town, Ibarra climbs onto Maria Clara's patio and bids farewell. Maria Clara explains she was blackmailed into releasing the letter which led to Ibarra's imprisonment. A man told Clara that her real father is Father Damaso, not Captain Tiago. Maria Clara relinquished the letter in order to keep this as a secret and to honor her deceased mother. Maria Clara expresses deep regret for her betrayal and reinforces her undying love for Ibarra. Ibarra and Elias bid farewell and begin rowing into the night. As they travel, they debate the merits of revolution and whether a change within this system is better than outright overthrowing it. During their discussion, the men are attacked by another boat. As a distraction, Elias decides to leap off the boat while Ibarra continues rowing. Elias tells Ibarra to meet him on Christmas Eve in San Diego, where Ibarra's grandfather is buried with his family fortune. Elias dives into the water and is chased by the boat until the attackers spat the blood in the water and assume Elias is dead. In San Diego, Maria Clara tells Father Damaso she cannot marry Linares because she's not in love with him. Maria Clara cites a newspaper falsely claiming Ibarra's death as the reason she no longer wishes to live and joins a convent as a result. On Christmas Eve, Elias appears in the woods to meet Ibarra, who never shows up. Elias is wounded and tells the young Basilio that he is about to die. Elias asks Basilio to burn his corpse along with Basilio's mother Sisa. As Elias looks up to the sky dying, he utters, "I die without seeing dawn's light shining on my own country. You, who will see it, welcome it for me. Don't forget those who fell during the nighttime." Ibarra's fate remains a mystery. Jose Rizal's Noli Tangere tells us that we should reflect on our actions and beliefs for our nation. The theme of the novel is to promote nationalism and to accept change in ourselves. We must patronize our country by respecting the law, promoting our culture, and realizing our true goal as a nation by helping each other towards improvement. It teaches us the values of wisdom, fighting what is right, and loving our country. This novel is being taught in school in order to not repeat the history itself by learning how to love our country and to empower the youth as the catalyst of change. Being a true Filipino is what Jose Rizal wants us to be. To know who we are and what is our true goals will make the country flourish.